We're diving in head first, as it's time is what's the scoop has finally returned, and we're going to be jumping straight forward as it's time to talk about all the cards focused around the adventure archetype. As this what's the scoop is going to be diving into all of them from both ST20 and ST21, as well as the cards coming out in BT21. So I do hope you're ready, as you get to stick around. But as always, guys, you know that when first you get a first look, but so do I, as I get to sit down with you, or technically you get to sit down with me, as you put me in the background, put on the headphones, watch the video, do whatever you want, while I get to tell you about these amazing cards, and you can go nowhere else. It's you get a one-stop shop to enjoy all the information you need about the cards coming out in the upcoming meta, or the video that you have chosen. But let's get into it, guys, as we're talking about the cards from the Adventure Archetype, which is now a archetype itself, as there is a lot of cards to cover here from both the structure decks and from BT21. We're going to be diving headfirst right now, as we're going to be starting off with the first egg coming out of ST20, that being the brand new Coromon. This one is a black egg, and for the foreseeable future of all the cards, to make this easier, they almost all share very similar effects, but they also share the adventure trait. So a lot of the cards, if I don't mention it right now, all of them have adventure in their traits, so do keep that in mind because that's their synergistic compatibility. But starting off, the Coromon here is a black egg, and during all turns, this Digimon with the adventure trait gets 1000 DP. Very standard, very easy to understand, and it makes this a very good egg just for the extra DP boost. But talking about the ST21 egg here, we have Sunomon here, which is purple. It has the ability that on deletion, you may return one Digimon card with the adventure trait from your hand or from your trash to the hand. Very cool. Jumping into the rookies, we have a lot, as we'll be going through all the lines of the Digimon instead of just going through all the rookies, champions, and ultimates. I think it would be more appropriate to go through each line so that you can start to understand what each card does, as this will make it easy for the lines to explain themselves. Starting off, we have the ST20 Biomon here. This one can Digivolve on top of any level 2 with the adventure trait for a cost of 0. And then on play, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You get to add one Digimon card with the adventure trait and one such tamer or option card among them to the hand. You return the rest to the bottom of the deck, and for its inheritable during your turn, this Digimon gets 2000 DP. Very cool. Moving into the Bergermon from ST20, this one can Digivolve on top of any level 3 with the adventure trait for a cost of 2, and then on play and when Digivolving, if your tamers with the adventure trait have 3 or more total colors, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with the adventure trait in the hand without paying the cost. Then for its inheritable 2, this Digimon gets 2000 DP during your turn. Very solid. Moving into the brand new Garudamon for this ST20, we have it can Digivolve on top of any level 4 with the adventure trait for a cost of 3. It has the on play and when Digivolving that for the turn, one of your Digimon gains security attack +1, and for every 2 colors your tamers have, you get 2000 DP. Nice. Additionally, that is the ability that during your turn, once per turn, when your other Digimon are played or Digivolve, if any of them have the adventure trait, one of your Digimon gains alliance for the turn, then one of your Digimon may attack. Its card also carries alliance as its skill. I did want to mention for that last effect of the card, a lot of the level 5s will be carrying it, so I may skip over them, but this doesn't mean that they don't have them. It's just that it's a lot to carry and hear it, and you don't want to probably hear me say that over and over and over again. But Garudamon is very solid. Time to move into the new Tentomon line. Starting off, Tentomon returns, and interestingly enough, this one is a floodgate. It can Digivolve on top of any level 2 with the adventure trait for a cost of 0, and during your opponent's turn, your opponent can't reduce Digi-evolution costs. Pretty cool. Going into the brand new Kabuterimon, this one can Digivolve on top of any level 3 with the adventure trait for a cost of 2, and then when Digivolving, if you have one or fewer tamers, you may play one tamer with the adventure trait from your hand without paying the cost. It carries piercing as its innate skill. Very cool. So solid. Talking about the Mega Kabuterimon from this ST20, we can Digivolve on top of any level 4 with the adventure trait for a cost of 3, and then on playing when Digivolving, one of your Digimon unsuspends, then for every 2 colors your tamers with the adventure trait have, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. The obligatory alliance effect is here on this level 5 as well, so I'll read it one more time. When your other Digimon are played or Digivolve, if any of them have the adventure trait, one of your Digimon gain alliance for the turn, then one of your Digimon may attack. Pretty cool. It also passes alliance as an inheritable too, so very good. Solid. Moving into the Tailmon or Gatomon line here, we're going to be looking at the the ST20 Gatomon here. This one can digivolve on top of any level 3 with the adventure trait for a cost of 2. It actually carries a security effect that at the end of the battle, you get to play this card without paying the cost. Pretty cool. Then on play and when digivolving, you give 2 of your opponent's Digimon security attack -1 until the end of their turn. And additionally, for its inheritable, when attacking once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -2000 DP. Getting a little bit DP reduction is very solid. Moving into one of the super rares out of the ST20, we have Angewomon. As the Angewomon here can digivolve on top of any level 4 with the adventure trait for a cost of 3. And then on playing when digivolving, one of your other Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with the adventure trait in the hand without paying the cost. Then during your turn, once per turn, this is the obligatory adventure alliance trait, so there you go. And then carries alliance as its main skill, or inheritable, sorry, but still very solid no matter what. But yeah, pretty much this one allows you to, just making a distinction, is that it allows you to digivolve one of your other Digimon into the adventure trait cards without paying the cost from the hand. I think it's very solid, but I did want to make that distinction. Going into the brand new ST20 Agumon, I still love these chase arts, very cool. Starting off, Agumon can digivolve on top of any level 2 with the adventure and hero trait, important for BT21, for a cost of 0. And then during your turn, while your opponent has a Digimon with 10,000 DP or more, or your tamers have 3 or more total colors, this Digimon can digivolve into War Greymon in the hand for a Digi-Evolution cost of 4, ignoring its Digi-Evolution requirements. And then for its inheritable, it carries Reboot, so very solid for a black colored card. But very importantly, this Agumon is here, and it is a rare. So talking about the brand new boss of this structure deck specifically, we have the brand new War Greymon Ace. This one is cool because it is dual color black-red and reads as follows. It can digivolve on top of any level 5 with the adventure or hero trait for a cost of 3. It is an Ace Digimon, so it can blast digivolve, very clear. Then on play and when digivolving until your opponent turns ends, for every 2 colors your tamers have, this Digimon's effects don't affect one of your, or their Digimon effects don't affect one of your Digimon, sorry. Then when digivolving and when attacking, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. It does not carry an inheritable. Instead, it carries the overflow requirement of -4. So when it is, I don't know, but I will make this clear because if there are any beginners, obviously Blast Digi-Evolution, there's counter timing in the game before blocking timing or blocker timing happens, and you get to blast Digivolve into a Digimon, then you proceed to use the effects. I did want to make that little clear because there may be some beginners, because this is based on the beginning structure deck or starter decks that will be coming out. So I do want to make clear, that's the blast mechanic. You just simply Digivolve from your hand effectively for free, and when your opponent attacks. So very cool. Didn't want to mention to it because, like I said, there might be some people beginning, so don't want to let them not understand what the blast Digivolve means. They might just be like, it does what? So yeah, jumping into it now, we're going to be talking about the brand new cards at ST21, starting off with the Gomamon line, which I'm very happy for. It can first, starting off with the ST21 Gomamon, it can digivolve on top of any level 2 with the adventure trait for a cost of 0. It is still able to digivolve on top of any level 2 blue, so very cool. But then it is also a floodgate where during all turns, your opponent can't gain memory other than by tamer effects, so very solid. Talking about the ST21 Ikakumon, this one digivolves on top of any level 3 with the adventure trait for a cost of 2. It is also a security Digimon that at the end of battle you can play this card without paying the cost. And then on playing when digivolving, you trash the top 2 Digi-Evolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then one of their Digimon with no Digi-Evolution cards can't attack or block until the turn ends. For its inheritable, when attacking once per turn, if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, you get to draw 1. So very solid, and also very good to see that the actual Vikemon deck in its wave support is getting some support here. Moving into the ST21 Zudomon, I really like this card. It can digivolve on top of any level 4 with the adventure trait for a cost of 3. On playing when digivolving, for every 2 colors your tamers have, trash any one of your opponent's Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards. Then you get to return one of their Digimon with 1 or fewer Digi-Evolution cards to the hand. Very cool, very much keeping in line with Zudomon Ace, but very clearly being more designed to fit in the adventure archetype, which is something I'm really cool with when the design of cards are like that. Talking about it, it does carry the obligatory adventure alliance passing trait, so that is very cool. And then it carries alliance as its inheritable, so very cool. Going into the brand new Palmon line out of ST21. Starting off, we have Palmon here. I did mention this a little bit in the Rosemon deck, but We're going to be diving into it right now. It can digivolve on top of any level 2 with the adventure trait for a cost of 0. And then on play, by trashing one card with the adventure trait in your hand, you get to draw 2. So very cool. And then obviously for its inheritable all turns, this Digimon gets 1000 DP. Very straightforward, makes it one of the more important cards you want to play in the adventure deck because getting filtering through is just very solid because it helps this deck out a lot. Talking about the brand new Togemon from ST21, it digivolves on top of any level 3 with adventure trait for a cost of 2. And then on playing when digivolving, if your tamers with the adventure trait have 3 or more total colors, this Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with the adventure trait in the hand without paying the cost. Very solid. And then during all turns, this Digimon gets 1000 DP. Very, very cool. Keeping your Digimon pretty big. But jumping into the brand new Lilymon from ST21, this one can digivolve on top of any level 4 with the adventure trait for a cost of 3. And then on playing when digivolving, you get to suspend all of your opponent's Digimon with 5000 DP or lower. And then for every 2 colors your tamers have, return one of their suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. And this deck is very cool because you can have at least 6 colors. So you can bottom deck maybe 3 Digimon, but also targeting down all the little low Digimon and suspending them all is very cool. Additionally, during your turn, once per turn, when your other Digimon are played or digivolve, if any of them have the adventure trait, one of your Digimon gain alliance for the turn, then one of your Digimon may attack. Just thought I'd mention this effect again, just in case you didn't see it already. And additionally, alliance is passed as the inheritable for Lilymon, so very solid. Now we're going to be talking about the new Angemon line coming out of ST21. Starting off, we have Angemon, of course. This one can digivolve on top of any level 3 with the adventure trait for a cost of 2. And then when digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer tamers, you may play 1 tamer card with the adventure trait from your hand without paying the cost. Pretty cool. Then for its inheritable, when attacking once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. Pretty solid. Talking about the brand new Magna Angemon, or Holy Angemon for those who are who they are. Additionally, we have it being able to digivolve from any level 4 with the adventure trait for a cost of 3. On playing when digivolving, you get to place one of your opponent's 6000 DP or lower Digimon as the top security card. For every 2 colors your tamers have, add 2000 to this effect's DP maximum. Pretty cool. Additionally, that you're also able to use the obligatory Adventure Alliance trait with Magna Angemon. Still pretty cool. And then passing Alliance as its inheritable is still very solid. So that's really interesting as it differs from something like Angemon, where Angemon supports the deck by accelerating evolution. This one actually uses a defensive option. So pretty cool. Very different for both structure decks. Talking about our next, we finally get to the Gabumon of this structure deck. This being the ST21 Gabumon. Like I said, love these alt arts. Very cool. Or these chase arts. This can digivolve on top of any level 2 with the adventure trait for a cost of 0. Then during your turn, while your opponent has a Digimon with 10,000 DP or more, or your tamers have 3 or more total colors, this Digimon can digivolve into Metal Garurumon in the hand for a Digi-Evolution cost of 4, ignoring Digi-Evolution requirements. Very neat. And then its inheritable is when attacking once per turn, you get to draw 1 card, and then you trash 1 card from your hand. Very in line with some of the other purple Gabumons, so very solid. Now we enter the brand new Metal Garurumon Ace. This is a dual color purple-blue. It can digivolve on top of any level 5 with the adventure trait for a cost of 3. It can blast digivolve as well, obviously being an ace. And then on playing when digivolving, you return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to the bottom of the deck. Then for every 2 colors your tamers have, add 1 to this effect's level maximum. So very cool to simply just go ahead and increase that level to bounce. So pretty cool. And also the bottom of the deck is very strong. Additionally, for its one attacking effect once per turn, you may play 1 level 4 lower Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. An extremely underrated effect, by the way. I just want to make that clear, because you can immediately get a lot of the powerful effects going in the chain of like Alliance. So I did want to make that an important topic. But additionally, it has the overflow -4 when it is deleted or leaves the battle area. So do keep that in mind, but very solid. Now we are going to be moving into the cards from BT21. These are just the remaining cards to support the lines of the adventure deck. Starting off, we have the BT21 Garurumon here. This one is purple, and it is actually a security Digimon. It can digivolve on top of any level 3 with Gabumon in name or with the adventure trait for a cost of 2. It's a security Digimon, as I mentioned, so at the end of battle, you get to play this Digimon without paying the cost. And then on playing when digivolving, you may return 1 Digimon with the adventure trait from your trash to the hand. And it carries the same inheritable as when attacking once per turn. You have to draw 1 card and trash 1 card. Very solid. Moving into BT21's Where Garurumon, I really like the art here. It can digivolve on top of any level 4 with Garurumon in name or with the adventure trait for a cost of 3. And then on play and when digivolving, you get to delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. If your tamers have 2 or more total colors, you get to add 1 to this effects level maximum. So very cool that this card can basically get rid of level 6s with 2 tamers on field with different colors. So cool there. But additionally, during your turn, this also carries the obligatory Adventure Alliance ability. So giving alliance to something and then one of your Digimon can attack. So very cool. Additionally, we also have the Where Garurumon Passing Alliance as its inheritable. So very solid. So, very good. Very, very good. So, it just kind of fits in the line, like I said, of the other Digimon. Talking about the next one, we actually have Greymon from BT21. This one, very similarly, is just a combination or connection to the one from the structure deck, where this one can digivolve on top of any Agumon in name or with the adventure trait for a cost of 2. And its on playing when digivolving effect is that if you have Tai Kamiya or a tamer with the adventure trait, you can give one of your opponent's Digimon at the start of the main phase. This Digimon attacks until the end of their turn. And then for its inheritable, it gives reboot, so it allows your level 5s and 6s to simply just reactive. I still think this is a very good effect in this deck because a lot of times you will be using the alliance a lot or the attacks a lot, so there will be a lot of your suspended level 5 and 6s. Moving into the brand new Metal Greymon from BT21. This one's actually on the cover of BT21. This one can digivolve on top of any level 4 with Greymon in name or with the adventure trait for a cost of 3. On play and when digivolving, it can digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon for every 2 colors your tamers have. I think that's really cool, and it's to one of your opponent's Digimon, by the way, so you don't get to spread it around, but still very good. And then it carries the obligatory Adventure Alliance attack trait, so very good, or skill, sorry. And then for its inheritable, it carries Alliance, so very solid. Like I said, in line with it, but also Digivolve is probably one of the strongest effects, so I do expect this card to see a tons of play in the adventure strategies. Now we're going to be talking about the tamers, so I'll try to run through them pretty quickly because there's still a lot more cards left. We're going to start off with Sora and Kari. Very importantly, these are uncommons, so for those who are watching because of the upcoming special booster, regulation battle volume 1 videos, yes, this is an uncommon, so it is playable. At the start of your main phase, if you have a Digimon with the adventure trait, you gain 1 memory, and then for your turn, when any Digimon cards with the adventure trait would be played from your hand, by suspending this tamer, you reduce the play cost by 1, and then for security, it just simply plays itself out without paying the cost. Very good. Talking about Izzy and Tai, or Tai and Izzy, during your turn, when any of your Digimon cards with the adventure trait would be played from your hand, by suspending this tamer, you reduce the play cost by 1. During the opponent's turn, all of your Digimon with the adventure trait gain blocker, so very good as a simple skill to have, and then it simply plays itself out of security. Talking about ST21's tamers, first we have Mimi and Joe, or Joe and Mimi. At the start of your main phase, if you have a Digimon with the adventure trait, you gain 1 memory. During your turn, when any Digimon with the adventure trait would be played from your hand, by suspending this tamer, reduce the play cost by 1. And for its security skill, you are able to play this card without paying the cost. And then finally, we have TK and Matt, or Matt and TK. During your turn, when any Digimon cards with the adventure trait would be played from your hand, by suspending this tamer, you reduce the play cost by 1. And then during your turn, all of your level 5 or higher Digimon with the adventure trait gain Rush, so very cool. And then its security skill allows you to play this card out for free. So like I said, very cool. All the tamers pretty much are very straightforward. They're pretty much just making sure that all of your Digimon are able to just simply hit hard, but also be defensive too in the case of Izzy and Matt, or Izzy and Tai. So jumping into the options, first we have from ST20, Our Courage United. While you have a Digimon or tamer with the adventure trait on the field, you can ignore this card's color requirements. For its main effect, you simply just draw 2 cards, then you place this card into the battle area. Then during all turns, when any of your level 5 or higher Digimon would leave the battle area, you could use this delay effect, and it allows you to play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card with the adventure trait from your hand without paying the cost. Very cool. And then security effect allows you to place this card in the battle area, so very simple. Moving in to Believe in Our Friendship from ST21. This one allows you to, while you have a Digimon or tamer with the adventure trait on the field, you can ignore this card's color requirements. Main, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you get to add 1 card with the adventure trait among them to the hand. Then you return the rest to the bottom of the deck, then place this card in the battle area. For its delay for its main effect during using its delay, by trashing this card after placing in the battle area, you get to simply gain 2 memory. So pretty much like a memory boost almost. And then additionally, its security effect allows you just to place into the battle area. So pretty cool. Talking about as well, we have the first of our field options being Genai's House being the first one. While you have no face-up security or face-up Genai House security cards, you can ignore this card's color requirements. Pretty cool. Then for its security effect, during your turn, all of your Digimon or level 3 or higher Digimon get 3,000 DP. Pretty cool. And then for its main effect, you get to add your bottom security card to the hand, and then you place this card face up as the bottom security card. Obviously, this being a field option is what I like to call them because they're acting as field spells. Additionally, for its security effect, if it's checked, you may play one level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. Pretty standard for what you're expecting from something like that to just simply play out when this card's checked. Additionally, we have the Island of Adventure, which is the one out of ST20, as the last one was from ST21. While you have no face-up Island of Adventure security cards, you can ignore this card's color requirements. During security, all turns, all of your level 3 or higher Digimon get 2,000 DP. Pretty cool. And then for its main effect, add your top security card to the hand, and you place this card as your top security. And if it's checked, you get to play one Tamer card from your hand without paying the cost. Pretty neat as it accelerates your play. And that is all the cards from the structure decks, but there is one more card, and it is one of the most important cards that is for the strategy out of BT21, that being the brand new secret rare Tai Kamiya. So this card is actually very important because it facilitates all of the adventure archetype, as well as technically I think the hero archetype, but this is more so for adventure because it needs it. At the start of your turn, it's a memory setter, so you get to set your memory to 3. And then during your turn, when one of your Digimon attacks by suspending this Tamer, you draw one, which is really cool because this is going to net you draws. But more importantly, during the main phase once per turn, you may play one adventure or hero trait card with a play cost of 2 or less from your hand without paying the cost. For each of your Tamer's colors, you get to add 1 to this effect's play cost maximum, then return this Tamer to the bottom of the deck. For its security effect, you simply play it, and more importantly, this is an adventure, but more importantly, a hero traded card. Whew, guys, that was a lot of cards, and the video is already like over 20 minutes, so this is a long What's the Scoop, but we've covered all the cards here. So if you do need to look at anything out of the structure decks, as well as all the cards for adventure as a trait, they are all here, so I did want to mention that to you. But talking about a little bit about the archetype, because I will not be going in more depth than I usually do, because there will be a basic breakdown for this deck coming up. There will be a lot of videos focused around this strategy, because I do think it's really cool for beginners as well as seasoned players, so do expect that. But I did want to mention for this deck rather quickly, I do think that this is a fantastic way to start the reintroduction to people and with World Convergence, because I do think that what this deck has done a bit differently than the others is that although you're probably thinking, well, why is this deck a lot better than, say, the last structure decks you had, like Fabled Waltz, as well as the Vortex Warrior structure deck? Well, the key thing about this deck isn't just the nostalgia baiting with the adventure archetype. What I like about this deck is that its strategy is so simple, as well as kind of defined really quickly. A beginner can understand how to play this deck pretty quickly with a little bit of assistance, just to understand the rulings of how, you play cards and whatnot. Besides that, this deck has everything you need, or both structure decks have everything you need. The strategy is very simple. It's pretty clear what you want to do. So like even without Tai Kamiya, which is a secret rare from BT21, you can technically ignore Tai, play the deck without it, but I do think you want to play it because it makes the deck just a little bit stronger and it gives you some more advanced plays. The point is the structure decks now have everything you need to kind of get rolling. This deck just simply wants to build up enough aggression and try to take out the opponent. It wants to utilize the Alliance ability to its max potential in the deck, allowing you to simply attack, constantly hit hard. Your Tamers are supplying you with extra memory as well as reducing the play cost of your other Digimon, so that you have access to kind of climbing back into the game where your opponent might not think you're able to do something, but you hard play Digimon out and then really hit them hard, so very solid. Additionally, the Ace Digimon are important because they do give you the counterplay against your opponent, and you do have blocker from the Tai and Izzy, and you also have rush from Matt and TK. So what this deck is really good at is it can do a lot of different things well, and it really focuses on what the person piloting the strategy wants to deck build it around. Do you want more aggression? Do you want the consistency up, but also the ability to defend? Do you want more power? Do you want more focusing on recycling with, say, for instance, the BT or the ST21 Metal Garurumon Ace? Do you want more power and just want to kind of go ham and aggress and delete stuff with like War Greymon Ace? There's like a lot of things here that are great. Additionally, the support out of BT21 for the remaining lines, like the War Garurumon and the Greymon line. I think Metal Garurumon and both War Greymon are very important because depending on how you want to build the deck, you can just use a lot of their tool skills like bouncing, as well as simply going ahead and digivolving is simply really strong. Like I said, this deck's greatest strength in this video, or for this video specifically, is just understanding that the deck is really defined. I think if you just watch this video as well, you'll probably get a grip of what the cards want to do very quickly. I'll break it down in the basic breakdown we're going to be having of this deck. I'll be going over more plays as well, and kind of explaining what this deck is really trying to focus on, because I do think this is a very good user-friendly deck. And if you're a beginner who's watching this, don't worry, there'll be another beginning video focusing around this. That's not just our basic breakdown, because I do want to help people get on boarded pretty quickly with this deck, and that's kind of why my content will focus around getting the adventure deck pretty up and running. So guys, that's all I've got for you today. I do hope you enjoyed this, because going through all these cards is a bit of a nostalgia, obviously, trip for me, because I remember when I watched Digimon as like a little kid, but also talking about these cards, and after rewatching it now that I'm older, it's a really good way to reintroduce these things to new players who have maybe never watched Adventure, but also understand that the Adventure cards are going nowhere, and their archetypes are all been pretty well supported thanks to these cards. But like I said, guys, this has been Brad from the Ad Army signing off, and for all of you out there, to sign on.